Ready?
Yeah. Those PlayStation cassettes.
If it wasn't blowing on the cartridge, the other solution was to just smack the console.
Did you know Mario was not called Mario? He was initially called Jumpman.
I was always trying to figure out what that Minesweeper game, what that game was about. Now, to this day, I don't know what's happening in that game, bro.
It's a bit like Sudoku on steroids. It's like instead of trying to fill in numbers, you're trying to figure out what the fuck that...
You're trying to avoid that mind, bro.
Yeah. We played FIFA 24.
It's FC 24 now.
Wait, I didn't know it changed to FC. Like, I saw the CD cover. I was like, why is it called FC? I actually thought it was like a fake game or something that these guys have bought. Oh, all I can remember is my dad playing in the farms with actual chicken and vegetables and not like the games itself.
My dad was doing that as well. Animal Farm in real life.
And milking the cows. What about Dance Dance Revolution? You would see that. Those kids just going crazy on that. How good was the FIFA game last night, bro? The one we were playing, you, me, and the other friend.
Bro, I had so much fun. Like, we played FIFA 24.
It's FC 24 now.
Wait, I didn't know it changed to FC. Like, I saw the CD cover. I was like, why is it called FC? I actually thought it was like a fake game or something that these guys have bought.
But like, yeah, to be honest, I still call it FIFA because...
Yeah, it's so ingrained in your head. But yeah, 2K is taking over.
Yeah, true. But yeah, well, Sanjeev and I, along with another mate, we were just playing a three-way.
It was so funny just watching these two guys like fight over every single goal. And then this guy knows that person's gears are being grounded and he makes comments on it. He just goes, oh, what can I do? Buy your shit at it.
So you're just like a shit person to play games with, it sounds.
I like to taunt my my opponent, but then the sad part is I'm kind of a noob. So when I taunt, I mostly lose as well.
Bro, he was losing like 2-0 or 3-0 and he's like still chatting shit when there's like 7 minutes left. I'm like, bro, you ain't doing the comeback. He's just chatting shit and just looking at his face. I'm just laughing.
You would have fit in real well in the Modern Warfare 2 server lobbies. You just be shit talking for like 5 minutes while everybody logs in and then get wiped immediately.
Oh man, it was serious trash talking back then. Like,
yeah, but it was like
my god.
It was the best time.
It was the best time, but also if those things got leaked, man, cancel culture would be going crazy.
Oh, you couldn't do it now without getting done by cancel culture.
And you know when the guys actually pretend to be girls' voice, and then they dress up with the girls' cosplay,
Yeah.
and the dudes actually are like, that's the funniest thing.
But yeah, anyways, funnily enough, I have FIFA 23. FIFA's still on 23, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have FIFA 23. We noticed the graphics weren't really all that different, but then when you compare it to like early iterations like FIFA 09, which I played, that was my earliest iteration, I noticed like there's a big difference in gameplay.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to love those games. I'd be like, whoa, this is like revolutionary, or this is like fucking out of this world. But then I look in and I play now. It's shit.
Yeah.
It was just nostalgia that made it amazing, I guess.
You think the games now are shit? Is that what you're telling me? Or just FIFA in general?
No. I meant like
games
back
then.
If I play a game from back then,
Oh.
and I compare it with the games now, it's like, what the hell? This is like...
Oh, yeah.
Consider for a second the games that like our parents played and then our grandparents and like what they had shit, right?
Oh, all I can remember is my dad playing in the farms with actual chicken and vegetables and not like the games itself.
My dad was doing that as well. Animal Farm in real life.
And milking the cows.
I don't think Animal Farm is actually about animals. You know, like oscilloscopes, like the waveform readers?
Yeah.
They back in 1958 they made like tennis on an oscilloscope. So you just on the display, like this is still computers are like massive structures.
Like tennis as in like a tennis game or like Pong you're talking
No, not Pong. Not Pong. Completely different to Pong. So imagine like if you could play a 2D game of tennis on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Right.
Where it's like, so you've got one bar at the bottom is the field, and then a little stick in the middle is the net.
Yeah.
And you have like this aluminium box with a dial and a button. And you turn the dial to change the trajectory of the ball. You hit the button to hit the ball back.
Whoa.
It's just this little beam on like a black waveform display. it looks really weird and whack when you look at it.
I was always trying to figure out what that Minesweeper game, what that game was about. Now, to this day, I don't know what's happening in that game, bro.
Dude, I know how to play it, but then I get frustrated with like a series of twos and you don't know where that stupid Minesweeper
That's
is.
the fun.
I hate numbers,
That's
just
the
letting you
fun.
know.
I used to watch my mum for hours just play Minesweeper over and over and over and over again on our computer. Like that's all she did.
It's a bit like Sudoku on steroids. It's like instead of trying to
Yeah,
fill in
pretty
numbers,
much.
you're trying to figure out what the fuck that.
You're trying to avoid that mind, bro.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on Sudoku. I despise that game.
Which one?
Never understood how it works. Numbers. People playing it, I'm like,
Oh, Sudoku.
Sudoku, but then you have the
Right.
digital versions as well, obviously, right?
Well, I mean, it's good if you want to like sit down and like ponder for a minute. If you want to like crack a puzzle, Sudoku is kind of fun. I like it, but
Some of the
It's-
original,
it's-
old games were based on real games in life, and then they would just put it on to the digital world. Like Tetris is pretty much, if you think about it, it's like a game of blocks,
Yeah.
but it's on
Sure.
your computer.
Even Pong as well. It's like it's essentially tennis, but it's like a God's view or bird's eye view of it, I guess.
Yeah. But like talking about games that like you play in real life, the very first two machines that were like ever considered maybe the precursor of a video game was like vacuum tube computers in the 50s and people making like tic-tac-toe on like a light up display against the
Wow.
computer. And then another game called Nimrod where it's about picking up like a stack of items or whatever. You're playing against a computer and you can see all the vacuum tubes and shit lighting up. And so you can see the computer thinking about what it's going to do. And like they showed them off in exhibitions in the 50s about what modern computers could do. But they're like
Right.
these massive hulking machines.
oh yeah, back in the day, the computers would be like one entire freaking hall room or something.
Yeah, like a whole
Yeah.
building.
And then just to move a ball, you're just like beep 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 beep, beep all these buttons you're pressing.
But,
But
then
then those computers eventually like condensed into an arcade machine.
Oh,
which like to look at now, like when you sit at home and you've got like a PlayStation or an Xbox or something.
Or even smaller, like a
Yeah.
Switch or mobile.
oh yeah, that's
No,
PSP.
no,
oh,
shush, no.
PSP, don't
No,
forget that.
do not talk to me about mobile gaming. I don't want to hear that again.
Hey, mobile gaming is not real gaming. And we
Just
stand
like-
on that.
if you're gonna insist on mobile gaming as an actual thing, I'd like to say just go and buy a Switch.
No, but
It's like what the same
You're-
price as
you're-
a phone.
you got Clash Royale.
Just
which in its
Afterpay.
own right, like Subway Surfers, Clash Royale, they're pretty good mobile games, like time eaters.
Sure,
When
okay,
you're on a
look, I
bus
have
or
a few
something.
games on my phone, but I play them when I'm on the bus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're on a bus or something.
When you're on the subway, you play Subway Surfers.
Sure, but like,
Yeah.
are we really gonna sit here and say like mobile gaming is like a full form of?
Gaming, come on. It's like something that just takes your time. It's not like a serious gaming thing that you would consider.
On a mobile game. That
No
Yeah.
offense, but
Like,
Yeah,
look, it's
that's
it's fun. It's a little gimmick, but it's like taking the newspaper on the bus to do a Sudoku.
hey, anything
You're
that
just trying to pass time, really. You could be watching YouTube, you could listen to music, you could read a book, you could do a million things. That's just easy because it's your phone.
But like gaming, thinking about like consoles, yeah, your Switch and shit like that, and like still even go back to like the 70s when you had arcade cabinets. Like kids, like our parents' age, I guess, just go in there and like, oh, let's throw some money into a box, and we get to be really shit at like a Super Mario for an after.
I remember when I was watching movies of like olden days, the kids it was more of a social bonding thing. Like you have your local arcade store.
oh yeah.
People would just go to it, play a couple of games. I remember Street Fighter being one of the most popular ones.
man, you would see those kids
Street
just
Fighter
non-stop
slaps.
bing 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 characters with the sounds and everything.
It's either Donkey Kong or Street Fighter, and then you would see like scoreboards.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pac-Man 2.
Pac-Man 2, yeah. People would just freaking try and get the highest possible score in their town.
Competing with each other.
Yeah, competing with each other and all that.
Pac-Man is hard.
What about Dance Dance Revolution? You would see that those kids just going crazy on that.
Dude,
Was it there though back in the day?
Nah,
I think it might have come a bit later on after.
I've been to like the arcade at the Crown Casino in Melbourne, and then every other arcade I've been to is just like some distant fucking memory, or it's a cinema or something.
Yeah, dude, the cinema ones I think keep some of the classics, don't they? Or has it evolved to like buck hunting and all that stuff?
It's evolved to buck hunting and shit like that. You've got like, you might still find like a Daytona,
Right.
which is like so good.
Daytona's amazing.
Daytona is the best.
Yeah.
But you're also just as likely to have a Mario Kart
Yeah.
because that's what's popular now. And
Yeah.
it doesn't look all, I don't know how many bits were in that, but like all oldie and pixely, you know?
Yeah.
But like imagine when you're a kid in the 70s and that's all you got, like is just a pixelated image. Your imagination would fill in the rest.
Exactly.
And these weren't kids
Exactly.
that had technology since birth. So
Mm.
they've still got like that. They're going outside, they're interacting with the world, they're seeing things in like so many different ways than we do now.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was a kid, I'd watch, I'm playing my PlayStation 1 or whatever, and then there's a fire, there's an 8-bit fire. I'm like, holy shit, I look at that fire and I look at a real fire. I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. No, but it's serious. But really, like go back to like Spyro the Dragon and Tomb Raider, and you see fire in those games, and you just like immediately, without even having to think about it, you as a little kid know just like, oh yeah, that's fire, and I'm connecting dots here, and my imagination fills in for the lack of fidelity.
Nowadays we criticize like graphics and stuff, but back then, like imagine like you had to design fire on 8 bits, like
Yeah.
cubes
And that's-
essentially.
That's the thing. It's just a natural progression of technology that they didn't have that beforehand. So you see it,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my god, this is incredible. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
However, they did have to do what they had to do. Like, they made do with all of these, let's say, technical barriers, but they did come up with classics in the 70s and the 80s. Obviously, you talked about Street Fighter, we had Pac-Man.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of other games I'm sure that we can name that you look at them, they're like, these are the games that laid the foundation and brought in that future of gaming.
Talk about foundational games. You got to mention Doom.
Oh,
We got to talk about Doom
Oh,
if you
hell
want to
yeah.
talk about foundational games. Like you had Wolfenstein inspired Doom, right? But that kind of fell off. It was good, but it was so hard because everything was very poor, like the color palette was very bland.
Mhm.
But then you move across to Doom and it refined that system,
yeah.
and you had a controversial game. It was fun, but like there's a bunch of demons and people were like, kids are, there's demons, they're going to become Satanists. It's like,
Yeah. The
Nah.
moral panic.
yeah. But then that evolved. I mean, it's a very well-known fact. It's no secret what happened, but Doom became like the grandfather of first-person shooters and inspired an entire 2 console generations of first-person shooter design just because they were the first to do it.
Is this the same Doom as the Rock's trash movie Doom?
Yeah.
Is it?
Same
Yeah.
same series. They are not related.
Oh,
They are not related. They are both Doom. They are both called Doom.
wow.
Don't ever mix them up.
Mhm. People hate that
I don't
shit,
wanna
by the
offend.
way.
I don't want to offend anyone.
People
here.
hates that. People like cannot stand that movie at all.
Like if you want to vaguely connect a poor quality movie to an okay game, connect that movie to Doom 3. Doom 1 and 2, you leave out of this conversation.
Left out. No more questions asked.
But I think the most revolutionary game back in the day must have been like Space Invaders as well. Like,
yeah.
if you're talking about 8-bit, I think Space Invaders comes to my mind. Like the starting point, and then you move
Okay.
on to Mario.
Oh, don't get me started on Mario. Those PlayStation cassettes. Put it back in, and that shit.
Yeah, you
not
used to
working.
blow on the cartridges.
Yeah, no, the solution to, if it wasn't blowing on the cartridge, the other solution was to just smack the console.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
magically it worked. And you're like,
Do you guys know the reason behind it though? Like, why would you have to smack it? And
it's just clunky old technology. It's
Yeah, I
the
think
same
just,
reason
yeah.
you can't destroy a like 90s model Toyota Hilux. Japan just builds shit to last.
wow.
Or it's just caveman brain. Just smack it around and it'll work.
Smash work.
So
But lots of maintenance.
I still had a working Super Nintendo up until I was 15.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, it just ran.
Yeah, dude, in Akibara, they actually still continue selling these old school game consoles and cartridges
Yeah.
as well.
You can do it here too. You just need to find the right retro store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found one in the mall and then it shut down.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so many good retro games though, like Sonic. You know,
Oh,
Sonic
man.
was obviously competing with Mario.
Yeah, Sonic was. Yep.
You had Crash Bandicoot back in the day.
Oh,
Oh, that's
and then you had Crash Bandicoot clashing and collaborating with Spyro the Dragon.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Spyro and Crash are doing something they've never done before. They're switching worlds to take down evil.
Essentially, the evolution. By the way, did you know Mario was not called Mario? He was initially
Jumpman.
called Jumpman, and he was
Jumpman. Damn.
No,
I
do you
didn't
know this
that.
story?
No, I didn't know about
Oh
this.
shit. Okay.
so the way it goes is that Donkey Kong rolls the barrels down.
Oh, Donkey Kong, yeah.
Yeah, he was considered the villain because he kidnapped Peach or something. This
Yeah.
was before even Bowser existed as well, right?
Wasn't even Peach. It was just Mario. It was just Jumpman's girlfriend.
Oh really? Okay.
Oh, sheesh. Man's got beef.
And Donkey Kong was Jumpman's pet.
Really?
That mistreated him. That mistreated Donkey
Whoa.
Kong.
Damn. Okay.
And apparently, you know, when he says it's me, Mario, it's what he's actually saying is it's me, Mario, which means Super Mario. Itsumi is like a Japanese term for super.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's
right. I
me.
saw that.
Itsumi, so he says it's me, Mario, but people hear it's me,
It's
Mario.
me, Mario.
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah,
that's
because
what it
that's
is.
how they ended up going like, oh, he's Italian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not that. He's like saying something in Japanese, which turns out to be Super Mario.
Damn.